Jai Gurudev. So now Shilajit is a big craze, and people in the West are all starting to source their own Shilajit and sell it. So what are some things that people, first of all, is Shilajit even for everyone? Is it for everyone? Can anyone just take it?
Mostly we have to identify, and where we see is some animals like mountain goats like that, they are licking it and they are just the drops when they are falling. That is the actual one. But now because of this misuse and so many, the demand and all these things, the actual Shilajit, it is not available. Only the stones which are just that area where it is secreting, they are collecting and crushing and then boiling. Of course, they are purifying. Everything it is to be purified. There are a lot of purification methods, and the purification is very, very important. And there are so many procedures to find out. And almost all, we cannot find the real Shilajit exactly. Only those who are very experts, they can identify, but still it may be most of that it is from the crushing stone like that. So this we have to know. So another thing, the dose, it is very, very tiny, like one grain, like that small grain size, like a small rice grain, not big grain, not like basmati, very tiny small grain like that. It is to be.
And how often would you take?
Only one time it is enough, actually once a day. If it is really needed, twice, or it should be combined with some other things. On alone also, everybody may not tolerate it. It is useful in many diseases, and in the combination it is better. So there are so many preparations which are having the combination of it, and the best it is in the Vindhyas. And if I say the places in world, then everybody may try to go over there, and it is no more, already almost all finished. When I went to Iran, when I was searching, I was not finding Shilajit at all. It is called, actually even in India in many places, momia it is called. And they are making from the plant extracts. So because of that, we have to be very careful, and the purification is very, very important, and the combination also.
We generally don't recommend single herbs because the person can become reliant, or it acts more like a food. Formulas, because of the small amounts mixed with the whole yoga, it becomes more powerful. So that's the same with Shilajit, mostly formulas also.
Mostly it should be with the formula mainly. It can be taken, but under very, very strict supervision of the Vaidya, experienced Vaidya.
And is it a Rasāyana that can be taken long term? Like for every day for a year? Or, because some like basmas we only take for 40 days or 3 months.
Yeah, this is also not continuous, and mostly this Shilajit also, if it is really, it can be taken in any season according to the need, but mostly these Rasāyanas, particular specific ones, they are given in the winter season like that, like cool season like that, not extreme summer, not heat conditions.
Anupana, the vehicle is very important for Shilajit.
With everything, Anupana is very important. And of course, the general, it can be anything with the water and warm water, or sometimes it can be with the, some things can be with the boiled down, cool down water. And this is Shilajit, if it is taken alone with milk, it can be recommended, but very, very tiny.
In the West, they're saying they have pure Shilajit, and the way that they're measuring it as pure is measuring the fulvic acid content. That's how they're doing it. Is that enough to say that it's pure, that it has a high amount of fulvic acid, or?
It is just, that is not the condition, it is the combination of so many minerals, extract, how the stone is formed, and the whole stone is not having the Shilajit. The extract, the melted one with the heat during the summer, you cannot find in the winter. It is not secreting, it is not leaking. Only they can find, and by knowing experts and seeing that, they will be searching, and then they break that mountain, and then where from that area they bring that stone. That is not the right way. And they are making, as I said, that in Iran they are making from the plants. So that is if they are making containing of this particular acid, that is not enough. There are so many combinations.
Did you ever, in the mountains, find Shilajit?
Yes, yes, we were collecting actually. We were taking that local, the mountain climbers, and then we are seeing and we are watching the animals like that. And then we know, oh, if they are licking, it is, and then when we go, the good quality we find out, and we were able to look for the best one. But now whatever it is available, we have to get it like that. The situation, it is not available.
And what was there specific procedures that you did when harvesting the Shilajit from the mountains when you were there?
It is depending the collection also according to the different nakshatras and all these things also it is there. Particularly it is mostly during the sun it is the best, because it is enlivens the values.
Pavani ji, I would like to share what she once told me about Shilajit, and maybe you can comment. And you were talking about the appropriateness of Shilajit in this Kali Yuga.
In Kali Yuga, our digestive system is, compared to our ancestors, if you see, it is really low. We are not able to digest our lunch to dinner and dinner to the next morning breakfast. So our digestive system has gone so low, our Agni especially. So that's why whatever the herbs we are giving or taking, it is not that easy for everyone to digest those. And especially with Shilajit, that's why the dosage, as my father was saying, is very important, and it should be according to the person's Agni Bala.
Because Shilajit is known, like in the Shastras, as one of the best Rasayanas, like in the Rasāyana, the limb of the Ayurveda. But I thought maybe it's so powerful that it's too powerful for Kali Yuga almost.
Like some tubers, they are cooked first general cleaning, and then either cooked in the rice wash water or cooked with the tamarind leaves water. Like that, the general purification, specific purification for every vegetable and different foods, like that it is there. So simply, and combination also, Viruddhahara, it is like honey and ghee should not be in equal proportion, and like banana should not be taken with dairy products. These are the specific things. In the same way, these conditions always they apply. And Ashwagandha also, the purification nobody is doing, because they don't know, they are thinking that, oh, like ginseng we can use it. But for every herb, there is the purification, it is explained.
And Shilajit is, just for listeners to understand purification, it's like holding a bolus of Shilajit under a steaming pot of herbs, and the steam is going onto the Shilajit, and that's purifying it.
It is not that pot actually holding that pot, it is not enough. They have to tie it in the specific cloth and hang it. It is called Dola Yantra. There is even Surya Tapa Shuddhi, means with the sunlight purification. So there are so many procedures. Shilajit, not just one procedure.
I'm also curious about, if you'd like to share, about your Shilajit collections in the past. Like, have you collected, because I know that, I don't know how much you want to share, but...
Well, in our family, it's like, people have gold passed on or like that. So in our family, it is like, how much Shilajit do I have? So it's like a property. How old is our honey? How old is the ghee? So one of those collections in Ayurveda, which, no money can even match, like how a big bigger size diamond or ruby becomes, you cannot put any cost to it. So Shilajit is one of that. When you have the purest form, we cherish that. And we are like, sometimes just to formulate that product, we take years and years. The discussion is still going on. Shall we do this? No, it's not right time. So we have been postponing, like my mother and father are still formulating, and we discuss because we know the quality is so good. So sometimes, taking a tiny part and putting it, because it attains, because it has been part of our important procedures, yagyas, the mantra shuddhi, everything is involved in that. So yes, if you have that valuable proper collection, then it is much more valuable than gold.
Even I remember just a few days before, somehow how it has come, and today you are raising about this Shilajit, like 5 or 15 days before, something like that, because that no, actually with this Sharat Purnima also, recently that happened, that time there is very special Sharat Purnima, very special herbs are prepared, and in the whole, the full moon, particularly once in a year. So cooking the milk with the herbs in the moonlight, like that. And recently she prepared special Rasāyana also. And that time there is that Shilajit also it is required. We are having that collection actually, luckily. But what happened, because it is becoming less and we have to see that. And then I asked that, and like 5 kilos or 2 kilos, something like that Shilajit, we were keeping that like a different way, and it is like hard, solid, it became solid like that, but still softness it is there. Where is that? Completely we have forgotten. Suddenly I remembered. And when I asked, oh, where it is, where we kept it, like that we started to think of it. So still she did not recollect it.
So how old is that?
I think it is at least 40, more than 40 years old. Yes.
So like honey and ghee, does Shilajit get better with
And
age?
even honey and ghee also, we were storing, even I was storing in every country the honey and ghee. And I was saying to those who are having that sources, I was saying to them that they were, oh, it is expired, like that, when they were saying, no, don't think that. You just store it in your storeroom and forget about it. So, and then how can we give it to you like that? You forget about it. Whenever you remember after some years, then you can remind me. Otherwise, I will ask if I remember, like that I was saying. In many countries, many are storing honey and ghee for us, particularly in USA.
And in Ayurveda, one beauty is we were taught from very young, like when you are collecting, when you are becoming like a custodian for honey, ghee, shilajit, all these special herbs, is if in your lifetime that need comes, very good, you get to use it. But your intention should be, it could be 500 years later that will be useful, 1000 years later. So we are, once in a while we become guardians to something so special, and how that will be that karma, your good karma, passed on to someone utilizing it. Like even in recent times, some scientists discovered 5,000 years or 1,000 years old honey, and they're doing research on it. So like that, these valuable things that we learn from Ayurveda, we have to have that collection, like certain dedication. So once you that you are putting your attention on Shilajit, you're going to discover, and on the journeys we'll go, like what is the difference when you have 2-3 varieties that you have collected, then you will know the potency. Just the smell itself has an impact, and the taste of it. And the biggest secret is always seeing nature. If animals are going when they, and how fast are they healing, you already know the quality. So like that, there's many hidden secrets and clues in nature also, like why that product is good. And sometimes if you have something very valuable also, you have to hide it. Don't say it, because then it just the supply and the demand will not match.
Yeah, my grandfather was, most of the time he was hiding, because this alchemy, it is very famous in India. You see, the gold what we see, every gold is not for every ornaments. And like the gold which we use for the kings, even for the kings also, the normal ornaments and the crown, the same gold cannot be used for everything. For the crown, it should be very, very specific. Even the gold which is used for the deities, it is not the same. Even it should be more pure. And so even that also, for the crowns, it is to be more specific. So particularly, either it is used with this the gold prepared from the mercury, and the mercury, there are the Ashtadasha Samskaras, and so it is, even though it is open secret, but sometimes it is Vedic knowledge, always it is kept open, because for the whole world, like that, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, whole world is my family, that is the principle in India, in the Vedic wisdom, in Sanatana Dharma. So it is open, but every time Ashtada Samskaras, it may not be, there may be little mistake, then it is not. So in olden days, the purified, there is one certain, it is called Khechari, and then that mercury they were using as a fuel for the vehicles, even for the aeroplanes they were using it. And recently I heard, and some people they said that those who were involved in that research, and when they used, they found certain point of that thing, and that mercury they started to use with the two-wheelers, and they cannot control that speed, and that the engine was very quickly burning out like that. So because of, they were putting along with this petrol in the tank, in the gasoline, and then they thought that it is too powerful and the engine cannot be, and very quickly finish like that. And then what they did, because the tulsi, the holy basil, not the basilicum, it also contains the natural mercury, and they started to use the juice of it along with this petrol, and then that also it has given the same like that, and then heating so much and it can be dangerous like that, they were using very minimum, still it looks like they are going through that. And that kind of the thing in olden days they were using, because it solidifies, there are certain procedures, and it solidifies. When it solidified, then they keep in the mouth, under the tongue, they get tremendous energy, they washed so fast, and they can reach the amount of that much faster, and they never get tired like that, and even protecting from the different diseases like that. So for that kind of that purifications when they were doing, and this gold it is to be purified, and the last stages, 2 stages, it is called bhubhukshu. Like if it is half kg of that mercury, and then you have to feed it with the silver, pure silver. When you rub it, if it is half kg mercury and half kg silver, when you rub it, it is absorbed, then it should become 1 kg. But when you weigh it, it remains only half kg. And then next stage, then they have to do it, means it is digesting. Like Pavani was saying that the digestion for Kali Yuga, it is, they said that in Kali Yuga, the lifespan is reduced, of course, according to the Ayurvedic science, it is in Kali Yuga, it is supposed to be 125 years. But how many are living 125 years? I have seen, and in Himalayas, you don't know, everybody looks the same and nobody talks about the age or who are they, what are they, and how they are, and all these things. We don't know. So, even I was not knowing, and once I was seeing, because there are some people, and like in India, from the Punjab area, they are very tall, very high, and very strong persons, and their gait and digestive capacity and all these things are very strong, very gigantic personality, even more than them I can say. But I thought that it may be somebody from that in the Punjab, there may be many, I might not have seen like that, and very gigantic personality. And after so many years, I have forgotten also, and I was thinking of him and later forgotten. When I was discussing in some Himalayan parts, oh, what the description is giving, like that they started to say that, oh, person was looking like that, and was he holding like that, or in Bible also, and in every religion it looks like that, it is mentioned. And they said that in the Bible, the mountain it is mentioned, that is in Georgia. And in those areas, Azerbaijan, Almaty, Kazakhstan, everybody commonly say that for how long you can live, what can be your expected lifespan. Easily they say 125. They say my father, grandfather, everybody who has seen, they are living for 125 years. And very common, everybody like that in those villages. And those are other part of the Himalayas. It is true, it means there may be so many people. And because it is in the documentation, Sapta Chiranjeevis. Because for anything, the knowledge restoration, the purity of the knowledge is very important. So, for this earth, Mother Earth, it is called Prithvi, and it is called Mrityuloka. Mrityuloka means why it is called, whoever comes on this planet, they cannot be permanent. The death is for sure. So, Mrityu means the death. So, even if you see in the Mahabharata, like Bhishma lived for so many thousands of years, and he has that wish for how long he wants to live, but never he is permanent. Only there are the 7 Sapta Chiranjeevi it is called. So, Ashwathama, Balir, Vyaso, like that what I said, Ashwathama. And when they said that, I don't know even till today whether I met him or not, but according to they said that it may be. So, like that there are Sapta Chiranjeevis. Why they are? Because they are the custodians of this planet to maintain that purity. Like so many say that, oh, this is the end of, after this war, after these floods, this is the end of the world, like that so many times we heard in last decades like that. But it is not true, the calculation is there, it cannot happen. After the end of the Kali Yuga only it has to happen. So, there are the calculations. So, it cannot be happening like that. So, the same way when we are watching, and this kind of the calculations, they are there. 7 immortals, those are the custodians.
And they're maintaining.
They are maintaining that purity of the knowledge, and they know how to take care of it. It is not going to end like as we are thinking, nobody can finish it. It has to come in the same way, and in all the yugas, like the Rakshasas, like Ramaban, and they finished not to become, if that Satyuga, if it is not maintained accordingly, according to that values, then Dwapara Yuga could have become much worse, and like the Treta Yuga, Kali Yuga, and then it will be very difficult. So, it cannot be like that, it has to be happen. So, for that there are like Rama, and in other Yuga the Krishna, there are Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavarti bharata abhyutanam dharmasya. So like that, whenever that kind of the thing somebody comes and then maintains, and the nature, mother nature takes care of it. And to make sure that purity of the knowledge, because of that the knowledge, particularly the science, particularly the health science, should be very precise, very pure. It cannot be mixed up, but it cannot be mixed up with my kind of the research or other kind of the research. Research is the same. If it is research is the same, why one country's research other country can't accept? It should be the same. So it is not the Ayurveda, it is the same for everywhere. For this planet means it should be the same everywhere. Only the habits and different things, all these are the details they explained. So the custodians, they are 7 custodians they are maintaining. There is another immortal, 8th immortal, Markandeya, but he is not born as the immortal. So because of that, he is not in this Sapta Chiranjeevis. He is another immortal. It is his duty is something else. So like that, this is always maintained, and the purity of the knowledge is maintained. And because of that, so many they were saying when I was traveling like 40, 50, 60 years before, something like that. So everything it looks like that from the Ayurveda. So why not it? Why don't you promote? Why don't you just advertise? There is no need, because it is for everybody. It is. Because of that, it is said that Ayurvedo Amritanam. Ayurveda is immortal. It is always, it is there. So the same thing what it is happening again, even though it was completely almost all destroyed in India because of the colonialism, my grandfather was saying that if anybody secretly they had to go, and if anybody is known that going to feel the pulse, they were chopping the fingers. So like that they tried to destroy, but still it is not destroyed. As I was saying that my grandfather was hiding, because there are so crazy people now it has become, and even because of that my grandfather was very strict about it, not to know all those plants like that.
To help the plants to alchemize the metals into
Alchemize
gold.
the metals.
Because was it your grandmother who was slightly obsessed with the alchemy, or someone in your family? Was
Grandfather.
It? He was the one.
He was the one.
Getting a bit obsessed.
My mother's father.
Right.
Yeah, he was well known because they had to process through the plant extracts. So there are some plant extracts like the turmeric is there. What we use this turmeric, there is black turmeric, very specific. Somebody says that this is the black one like that, but that is not the one. So that is used, and there are different plants like that, and everywhere they are not available, only in some places they are available. My grandfather was knowing, and some people they know. If they know that, and because they are so kind of very like crazy people, if anybody is not ready, if they are not ready to give that knowledge, they are ready to kill the person like that. And because of that, most of the time, because this is not the good way of using, it should not be misused, he was hiding. So I know, and because of that he was saying that never to be known, not to be seen, all the plants I am not going to show like that, but sometimes he was showing and like that these things. And even for the Sri Shalam we were having actually one book I have taken, and that was when we were with Mashi. That book always I was keeping it with me, and I left it over there, but later I did not find because we happened to come. In that there are that lot of secrets.
Is that book written by your family? Or?
No, it is not written by our family, but it was even before. But that book, it was with lot of mantras. Like if you go, I don't want to say the places also, because in that there are so many special treasuries like that they were saying. And it looks like that something simple, all the plants, mountains you cannot go, but when chanting something that opens. So you find the way like that. So that was written, and that writing also it is different way. Everybody cannot read it. It is very peculiar, like in English also, that the specific writing. So the same way it is there. So like that in this alchemy, what they do, even after all this process also, when this lightning, whenever some lightnings, they can be very deep, there is a kind of very particular metal. It goes into the earth. That is very precious. Many people, they dig for it, they search for it, wherever that lightning happened. That is like, it looks like iron, it is a kantaloha. Kantaloha, and it is like, it comes like some rod or some kind of the something like that. It is melted one, and they find it. When they had to purify even this purified alchemy gold, and then they had to mix with it. Then that can be used for the deities' ornaments, like that, and even for some special herbs like that. So every gold, it is not like that. There are so many details. And even Nagarjuna, this area, it is Nagarjuna Konda, Nagarjuna Sagar. It is that Nagarjuna who was very famous for this alchemy, and he turned even everything, not only the iron, any material, into the gold. Because of that, many people, even till today, they go to Sri Shalam, those who know, because in that clay, people, those who know, they believe that there is lot of that alchemy gold is there. So the clay also, many people, they consider as medicine.